On this next segment, I've been looking forward to all day here. Ido PARIENTE. He's an Israeli mixed martial arts fighter and trainer, nicknamed the Hebrew Hammer. I want to throw out there for years, considered one of Israel's top fighters. Thanks for joining us in the studio. And he's joining us today from Mumbai, from Nikhil Kunde, founder of Punch MMA also. So thanks for joining. And I know you guys have a connection here. I want to highlight that. Coming to you, Ido, right away. First of all, I know you just got back from India. I think this month in June, you held a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu seminar with Nikhil here. Tell us how that went and how you got to this collaboration in it.
Well, first of all, we spent a week, 10 days together, training with his team and his gym, One Punch, and it was absolutely wonderful. The guys are natural born gifted athletes, but with limited knowledge, because there was never anyone with proper current knowledge of these sports, Jiu-Jitsu and MMA in India, giving classes, and I believe that I was one of the first ones, and I think that Nikhil did such a good job advertising it and putting it out there to make people realize, okay, there's someone who really knows how to give classes and how to teach this and how to make a formal, plan, and how to prepare fighters and how to give beginners classes and everything. And they did a wonderful job promoting it.
Nikhil, let's draw you into this. I mean, how did it go? Is this the start of something new, essentially, in Mumbai in particular, and in India at large? Can you go that far?
The visit of Ido PARIENTE comes at a very special time when India and Israel are celebrating 30 years of diplomatic ties.
Yeah.
So this collaboration is only going to further strengthen and deepen the ties between the two countries. And it is for the very first time that an Israeli martial artist with such a decorated background is coming to India and spread more knowledge about mixed martial arts.
Yeah, this is outstanding. You mentioned the 30 years of ties. It's so important to celebrate. We had International Day of Yoga here last week, but this is another arena now. We're seeing new levels of collaboration. The door is so wide open here. What's next for India? What's next in this collaboration, Ido?
Well, first of all, we are going to be working on a regular basis. I'm going to go to India like 2 or 3 times a year.
Right.
And we're going to work online, preparing the schedule for the month, preparing a training program for athletes. And
so there's interest. I mean, you've generated some interest in this.
Yes, of course. And furthermore, I'm going to be helping fighters from India fight overseas. I'm also the CEO of the federation here in Israel, so I'm making connections with his gym to their own federation. I'm trying to even help India move the whole community, the whole MMA community, move in the correct direction. Because 20 years ago when I was fighting, there was no amateur and then pro. Everybody fought pro. There's a lot of people who have pro records and they have never trained one day in their life. And it's ridiculous. Today the amateur scene is taking popularity, but not a lot of people know and understand the importance of that scene. So people want to jump straight to professionals, and I'm helping those guys understand, look, you got to go to the amateur scene, you got to learn, you got to suffer your losses over there, and then come to the pro as a mature athlete.
Nikhil, what can you tell us about the way that just coming from Israel? This isn't just MMA, US, or anything coming in. What about the nature of that Israeli tie, or the way that people there are looking at what Israel has to export? Is this one of those things they look at as Israel, tough little country? Does that help?
Yes, of course. Everyone knows that India has been partnering with Israel when it comes to borrowing defense technologies and working on new defense fronts. So why not mixed martial arts as well? I'm sure people need to know that there is much more than just Krav Maga as an Israeli martial art that Israel has to offer. And Ido proved it very well here that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is also one of the arts that the Israelis are very good at. And he's helping us spread that knowledge here. The idea behind getting him on board is to find that one talent from such a large population in India, 1.3 billion people, and Ido is here to help us.
It's got to be more than one talent. I think you'll end up finding a lot more than that. So exciting, just new endeavor. It's amazing. A place so big that there's still new things to introduce in India. So that's great. But
yes.
Ido, come back to you. I know you started, or I believe had a big hand at least in the Israeli MMA Federation, the Israeli side of this whole scene. What's the status today? I mean, you were at the ahead of some, on the title board of some big matches here, maybe the biggest yet in Israel for sure, back in, I think, 2010.
Yes.
That you want to highlight here as well at Nokia Arena here. I don't think we've seen a moment like that for the Israeli scene since. What's going on with the scene here?
Well, the thing is, everybody wants to go pro. As I said before, everybody wants to go pro, but pro you need to be committed to that training lifestyle all the time, and it's very hard to get a big group of people that are doing it. So we're building up the amateur scene right now, and by building up the amateur scene, you're creating a funnel. You're getting everybody who just has a desire to fight, put them in one pool, and just the best.
Get some guys to bubble the top. We've run out of time, Ido. Good luck with it all, Ido Pariente. And obviously, Nikki Kundar coming to us from Mumbai. Thank you both. Good story. Keep up the good work as well. Thanks for joining.